This book answers some very interesting questions. Which single question can reveal the secret to a billion-dollar startup? How can we know if a company will be profitable after a decade? Let's begin with the future. By future, we mean a change from today. When we think about the future, we hope for a future of progress. Progress has two types, horizontal and vertical. Imagine two individuals, you and David. Both of you own bicycle companies. David builds one bicycle design and then produces 100 more of the same model. David is making progress because he's expanding from one bicycle to 100, then 100 to 1,000. Meanwhile, you innovate by creating a flying bicycle. You're advancing to a new level of technology and making progress as well. However, there's a difference between these two types of progress. You are making vertical progress, while he is making horizontal progress. Vertical progress is from 0 to 1. 0 means a product does not exist, and you imagine it and then create something new. For instance, when Uber was introduced, it was 0 to 1 because no online taxi service existed before. Horizontal progress is from 1 to n. N means nothing new. It's about copying others. Globalization is actually horizontal progress. A thing becomes globalized when it is copied globally. Vertical progress is difficult, while horizontal progress is easy, but there is a problem with the horizontal progress. In the 1990s, businesses rushed to establish an online presence and include .com in their names. High competition led to many companies going bankrupt. For example, there was fierce competition among online pet stores like Pets.com, Petstore.com, and Petopia.com. When Pets.com failed, $300 million in investments vanished. Similarly, in the 2000s, people rushed to buy real estate, which led to the 2008 financial crisis. In recent times, we've seen two major crashes, the dot-com bubble burst and the 2008 financial crisis. Both occurred because companies were focusing on horizontal progress, copying others rather than innovating. The question arises, why is vertical progress considered better than horizontal progress, even if horizontal progress can also bring about profit? Tolstoy opens Anna Karenina by observing, all happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. Business is the opposite. All happy companies are different. Each one earns a monopoly by solving a unique problem. All failed companies are the same. They failed to escape competition. Consider two companies, A and B. One is selling to millions and has a total revenue of $168 billion, while the other has a revenue of $50 billion. Which company is more profitable? It may surprise you, but company B is more profitable. This is the story of 2012's US airline industry and Google. Google had a 21% profit margin, meaning its profit was 100 times more than that of the US airline industry. US airlines have lower profits because they are in competition with each other. Competition kills profits. Google has a high margin because it has a monopoly. Similarly, pet companies during the dot-com crash failed because of competition. These companies focused so much on competing with each other that they lost sight of whether the online pet supply market was a good place to invest in the first place. People often argue that competition is necessary for capitalism. No, it's not. A capitalist is someone who's in the business of accumulating capital. A world of perfect competition is a world where all the profits are eroded. Let's discuss how you can go from 0 to 1. Amazon reported its first profit in 2001, 7 years after its founding. Investors continued to invest in it even before it was profitable. How did investors know it would be profitable in the future? By its features. Every monopoly is unique, and while there's no blueprint for a successful startup, they all have common features. An important feature is proprietary technology. This is technology that cannot be copied. For example, Apple has iOS and Google has Android. Feature number 2 is network effects. Some products achieve a monopoly through network effects. Once a network is established, no other companies can replicate it. For example, if all your friends use WhatsApp and you start using a newly launched messenger, you won't be able to use it effectively because the network of users is not there. Another feature is economies of scale. Companies like Toyota and Ford achieve economies of scale by producing large volumes of vehicles, allowing them to spread the high fixed costs of factories and machinery over millions of cars. Next is a strong brand image. Brands like Nike and Adidas don't manufacture products in their own factories. They outsource production to third-party factories. If these third-party factories can produce high-quality shoes, why don't they make and sell their own? The reason is that companies like Nike and Adidas have created strong brand images through innovation, marketing, and product range. Now let's discuss the steps Neil advises we should follow when starting a startup. Step number 1 is start small. A startup should initially target a very small market. This makes it easier to achieve dominance, as dominating a small market is more manageable than trying to capture a large one. Once you capture the smaller niche, scale up by expanding gradually into related areas. Amazon serves as a prime example of starting small and then scaling up. Amazon initially focused on selling books online. After dominating the book market, the company expanded into related areas, transforming into a general store for everything. Step number 3 is don't disrupt. This means not starting a competition with big companies. By avoiding direct competition and expanding the market, businesses can achieve more sustainable growth. Teamwork isn't actually the 4th step, but it is vital to the foundation of a startup. If you're alone, you can't start a big business. If you're in a big organization, you can't make big changes by yourself. Choosing a co-founder is as important as choosing a partner for life. Successful startups usually have founders with different skills who work well together. In a company, 3 important things need to be managed. Ownership. This is about who legally owns parts of the company. It helps attract and reward investors and employees. Possession. This refers to who is in charge of running the company day to day. Control. This is about who makes the big decisions for the company. This is done by the board of directors. Smaller boards, with only 3 to 5 people, work better. Larger boards are not as effective. In the final part, we will cover how to sell the product you discover. Now, let's reveal the question that will unlock the secret to a successful idea. There are 3 types of ideas. An idea may be a conventional truth. These are ideas that everyone knows, like the Pythagorean theorem. Or ideas may be secrets. There are things that are hard to figure out but not impossible, such as the development of 6G internet service. Mysteries. These are things that are currently impossible to figure out, like time travel. To find a successful startup, focus on secrets. Companies like Airbnb and Uber succeeded by discovering secrets. To find a secret, you should simply ask this contrarian question. Tell me something that you think is true and nobody agrees with you on. Or in business terms, the question can be rephrased as, what is a great business idea that nobody is building? The answer to this question could lead to a successful startup. Understand the concept of a secret idea with this example. Imagine a tiny door where everyone is trying to rush through. Around the corner, there may be a secret gate that no one is taking. You should always look for the secret path. Now that you've made a product, the question is, how do you sell it? The main reason most businesses fail is not because of a bad product, but because they can't sell it effectively. Sales and marketing are as important as having a good product. Sales can be complex or personal. Complex sales involve expensive products and a narrow audience. For example, SpaceX's success in securing billion-dollar contracts involved overcoming significant political and logistical hurdles. While in personal sales, the audience is broader. The goal is to sell repeatedly by building relationships. Mary Kay, a well-known cosmetic company, uses independent beauty consultants to sell products directly to customers. Neil gives marketing and advertising advice for startups. New companies should focus on effective, affordable advertising strategies rather than trying to match the flashy campaigns of established brands. A company like Procter & Gamble can't afford to have salespeople sell laundry detergent door to door, so they use TV commercials instead. PayPal made a mistake by hiring an actor from Star Trek to promote their product. The campaign didn't succeed because it didn't resonate with the audience. What's viral marketing? Products like Facebook and PayPal grew quickly because users shared them with friends or made payments, inviting more people to join. Funny YouTube videos spread quickly because people share them with friends almost instantly. PayPal started with just 24 users and found that traditional advertising was too costly. Instead, they paid people to sign up and refer friends, which led to rapid growth. It cost them $20 per user, but their user base doubled every 10 days, quickly reaching hundreds of thousands. To succeed in a viral market, it's important to target the most valuable users first. PayPal focused on eBay power sellers. Once PayPal became the main payment platform for these sellers, they dominated the market. Let's look at a rough comparison of the cost of acquiring a customer. Viral marketing will cost $1 per customer. Marketing will cost $100. Sales, $10,000 per customer. And complex sales will cost $10 million per customer. Now try just a single method. Trying some of all will not succeed. Feel free to answer either one. Should startups hire freelancers instead of full-time employees to save costs? Or what's the best business advice you've ever received?